Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. It's another FINOW day. Yes, indeed. FINOW's back with us, unbranded on the box. It doesn't say FINOW anywhere, but inside here is a new body thermometer smartwatch that looks like it's going to give you not only your body temperature, but the shell temperature, which I presume is the case or basically ambient temperature. Wow, all comes out like that. Let's talk about it. We've got the K21, FINOW, smartwatch, blood pressure, all kinds of things, but you notice it doesn't say temperature. I don't know what went wrong, but when they wrote this one up, the main feature isn't even listed here, which is why I'm really glad we get to do this review, so you get to learn firsthand what it can do. In the descriptor, it says it's a 1.3-inch IPS 240 by 240 standard kind of screen, standard kind of battery, 230 milliamp hour, Bluetooth 5. It's using Wear Health as a tethering app, which is okay, and that's going to get us our temperature stuff over there. Here we go. Body temperature detection, blood oxygen, sports, all kinds of stuff. Sleep monitoring, remote camera, and a set of specs over here that are your basic stuff that we've seen. Step counts in there, sleep trackers in it. Pretty much a basic regular watch with a variety of different languages, and it's going to pretty much meet your needs if you're interested in a temperature watch that does all the standard kind of measurements. Let's take a look at it. When we bring it out of the container, it's a nice, thin, small, wow, really well sealed little thing. There's the temperature probe right there. So when it's a contact type like this, you know you're going to need to wear it for a few minutes, at least, say 15 minutes, for the temperature to rise and settle to your actual body temperature and calculate everything properly. It's not an infrared kind, the instant kind like at the airport. This one you're going to want to wear for a while. You got a 2-pin magnetically coupled, relatively strong, it holds the watch, adapter here for charging, and then we've got a tiny little bracelet user's manual in English that shows QR codes for the different phones available. Now this is F-Fit. Okay, it's saying that we're going to tether to the F-Fit app. Interesting. And then it gives you a little bit of descriptor of what the watch will do. And not a whole lot to this manual. The last pages are here, and Chinese all on the other side. So as usual, we're going to charge it up, turn it on, and check it out. Well, it turns out this K21 is rather interesting. You press the button to turn it on. It only has the one side button. Takes a moment. You land into a watch face. Nothing unusual about that. But I will tell you, there's something going on here, because a watch like this should probably only have the typical green diodes that you have for doing heart rate. But this one, in addition to the temperature probe on here, when you do blood pressure, of course, you get the green diodes. And we all know that if you do blood oxygen, the best is to have red and infrared diodes. And sure enough, this guy has got it. So it should be pretty darn good on computing blood oxygen. And have we seen in other watches and bands, having the red diode allows you to do all-night monitoring for all kinds of things like sleep apnea and Lorenz scatter diagrams and so forth. Well, this doesn't do that per se, but it does do some other interesting stuff. Here we are on the measuring the thermometer, which is that little puppy right there, and it has enough sense to know when you're not wearing it properly. So that's pretty darn good. It's going to actually not just take a temperature of midair, it's going to take a temperature properly of the environment. So you have these panels that are going around, and then there's your steps count for the day, distance traveled, and all of that. Back here at the main screen, you got the watch face. Swipe down, you get a few goodies like changing your overall brightness. And folks, this is pretty decent. There's the lowest brightness there, and it's still nice and visible indoors. But when you brighten it up like we just did, plus sign over here, you can get it good and bright and pretty much almost wash out the screen. Here we've got some settings. You've got your different themes, which are the watch faces. So let's take a look. I've got this nice digital one here. I got this sweet little analog one. I actually wore some clothes that matched that the other day. It was fun. And then you've got this one, which is a custom one that you can put in from the app, from a selection of a lot of them. But you basically only have those three, two stock ones, digital analog, and then a choosable third option here. Let's take that one for fun. And that was coming in through settings to theme. And brightness we've looked at. System is basically shut down, which you can also do by long hold on the button. And that is everything here. QR code is a special QR code if you have an iPhone for downloading the app, Chinese version, and then Google Play. And if you have an Android phone, in the show notes, I've got the Google Play link that you can go to pick up that app. Here's a Do Not Disturb that you can set on immediately or set a timing range if you want to, when it won't be disturbing you during the night. There's your Whoa! I was going to say that's your Bluetooth, but that's actually the Find the Phone. And obviously it's tethered. And then we did brightness already over there. Connected, battery level, date, and everything on that side. When we go up, we get into the app drawer. And the app drawer now has all the different apps that are going to show you one by one screens that look like this when you go sideways. There's the heart rate, and that's the size of the digits. You saw the last one there, and it's attempting to get a heart rate through the green diodes. I won't take all the time to show you that. Blood pressure, systolic, diastolic will be on here. Then you've got your last night's sleep time, and I don't know if you can see more of this. It doesn't look like, but your overall sleep time, the app will show you more. And then the blood oxygen we were talking about that does it with the red diode in the back. And again, temperature, and I got to wear it for that, and your step count and such, and that's all going around this way. So when I come up here, state is your step count, heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen, and temperature are all the same. So then you get into sports, and you have a few of them: running, walking, things like that, climbing. Let's take walking. These are only showing your heart rate, your step count, and time, elapsed time. And that's about it. And you can't get out of it either. You have to press the button, long press the button to get out of it. When you get into something else like football, same kind of thing, but now you got calories burned that it's monitoring over time. Press, 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 nothing. Long press bails you out of it. And I don't know that it's saving any of that. And there's no GPS, so it's light on the fitness aspects. It can get you by in a pinch probably. There's last night's sleep stuff that was already on one of the other panels. Messages pushed from your phone will show up here, and they're readable. You've got a stopwatch, which is limited because you can't go out of it unless you stop it. And when you do, you lose it. It resets. Countdown timer. And again, the overall settings of theme, brightness, and system shutdown. And that's everything you can see in the watch. So let's head over and take a look at the app. The app used by this particular watch is called FFit. We haven't done much with this one. You can create an account and get yourself all logged in, get yourself synced to the watch. It's pretty straightforward. Won't cover a lot of that. Once you're in there, you've got these different panels that you can move around, and they are composed of your step count by days. Here's today. Here's yesterday. The movement target and what percentage you got of your total is shown. Very simple, but effective. You can pull down, get the whole calendar. You can go over here and bring the calendar up as well, and that's the same on every page. Then you got your body temperature. Haven't been using it today, so it's just holding at the last recorded measurement. You can get in here and it'll load a history. And it's not working in terms of recording history because I've taken a few different readings, but they're not transferring over to the app. So there's a little bit of work needed to be done in order to fix this full connection between the app. Here's heart rate. You get a little bit of a chart, and what's kind of cool is wherever you click on it, you can go along and see the exact time in 5-minute increments that it took a particular heart rate. Maximum and minimum are shown. The quiet heart rate, which doesn't click on it, but it tells you about it, and your exercise heart rate zones are shown, but that's just for explanatory purposes. There's yesterday when I first started testing this, and throughout the night all the way till midnight, and then it picks up from midnight forward. So it's giving you continuous heart rate on here, but not much more detail than what you see on the chart that you can't expand. But at least you can tell incrementally what's going on. Here is now what they call PPG heart rate, and this is your heart rate variability health index, giving you heart rate and blood pressure using the green diode, the PPE. Here's a couple of measurements that I've done, and when you get into them, you can see it's giving you a score. That's your overall health advice, and we calculate your blood pressure as systolic, diastolic right here. Readings are reasonable, and you'll find later that you can actually put in your personal numbers if they're different than 120/80, and that's great because then the deviation will be from your particular baseline blood pressure rather than the standard one. We've got some from yesterday. Here you go, 126, 130, 141 was kind of high down here, but it's still calling it good. I'm getting a score of 73, and that's kind of nice. So you've got something that's doing a combination look at your overall health and giving you a health value. And whatever value you want to put to that, you can. This is one of the few measurements that you can start measuring on your own. When you do, it just vibrated, and it says measuring, and it looks like it's in the heart rate section, but it's also going to be doing blood pressure. It takes 30 seconds to compute. It should pop up, there you go, with initial numbers, and then it's going to adjust those. It tells you you should not breathe. Well, not talk like Mr. Ticks. You want to sit still, and you want to hold this up probably at heart level and keeping it, the back of it, close to your skin. And then you get a vibration. Nothing shows on the watch, but you get the numbers here. So if you've got a patient laying in the other bedroom who may be contagious and you want to just get their vitals, you can do this. Just have them wear the watch. Use this app, and you're good to go. And it's giving you that overall score that we were talking about. And this is now on today, so it should show up over here as coming up. Okay, so that was the PPG heart rate. You'll get into blood oxygen now. And it's showing a continuous measurement while you have it on. I had it on and I took it off yesterday. Overall measurement record is not transferring. The data's in here, but for whatever reason, I'm not able to see the record. So that's a problem with the app they've got to fix. It explains about blood oxygen. And last night, folks, when I was wearing this, all night long, I could see the red diode kind of shining from underneath. So it was using the red diode pretty much consistently. It didn't go off. It wasn't incremental. It was on the whole time. So that tells me that this thing has the ability to monitor real-time your blood oxygen and possibly alert you if you have a sleep apnea event. So maybe it'll tether to a different app than this one, or maybe it's a work in progress and they're going to iron that out. But that would be really sophisticated if they could add that feature, the Lorenz scatter diagrams, heart rate variability, all of that potential is there since it uses the red diodes. Here's motion, and this is exercising, and you could say start exercising and do an exercise from the phone. And of course, it pops a full Google map in the background for you, and you can just hit the back button to get out of that if you don't want to see it, or you can go back into it right there. Shows you your duration, your speed, long press to pause. Now again, now we are not doing anything that has anything to do with the watch itself. This is all contained within the phone app if you wanted to do that and maybe get some motion data here. Last night's sleep information. Here's the breakdown. There's the 6 hours. I'm getting deep, light, and wide awake Nothing about REM sleep. My sleep target is 8 hours, and it's saying I got 75% of that just in terms of hours, but not sleep quality. So we have other bands, other apps that do a much better job on dicing and slicing up your sleep information. And it's color coded. You don't touch on it and see, but you can tell that the yellow orange kind is wide awake. This is showing you a percentage chart, and this is showing you the actual time within reason, because it's just showing you your beginning and ending time, but not the actual breaks in your sleep. And there's no place to show the full sleep data that it used to derive that. So I'd say it's pretty light on sleep tracking, but it'll get the job done if you like the thing for other reasons. You can sort all the cards in different orders. You can hide some of them if you want to, so you can present the data any way you want to. Now we jump over to the device. Here it is, the K21. And this is kind of the fun thing. You've got this dial center. There's 3 of them here, and I can actually go in here, see a variety of dials. That one is one of them that we had brought over. I showed you that one, and let's pick another one. I kind of liked that one. I wanted to see what it looked like. So I touch it, it loads it, and it's ready to be synchronized. But of course, you got to have to press it. It vibrated, and now it's syncing. Doesn't take too terribly long. Shows you the percentage as it's going along. You need to be tethered. You need to be fairly close to your band or your watch, and just let it go. But it's going to replace the other one with this one. Now, as many of these are, there's only enough memory to get one watch face in here, not all of them. So when you go to change theme, you just have this, the other digital we just had on, or the analog one. But you can change to meet your particular needs from any of them that you see here. Oh, yeah, I saw that too. There's dial market, and then there's custom dial, which looks like they're going to be theme-specific ones that they can add in here at a later date too. So you got a couple of things to check for. Dials. Basic notifications can be set up to push to the watch. Reminders can be put in here for all kinds of sedentary drinking water, medicine, meetings, things, just basically recurring or individualized alarms. There you go. Continuous heart rate, continuous temperature, continuous blood oxygen monitoring. Twist your wrist to see the time. You can sync this to Google Fit. Find the device, we heard that. Take a photo from your watch, and more settings, which include your metric or imperial, your 24/12 hours, and you can see your weather or temperature actually in Fahrenheit or centigrade. And I didn't show you the temperature, so let's do that in background and unbinding. Okay, care is if you have friends, and you can set it up so you can allow friends. And mine is where you just put in your personal stuff, your target for training, and FAQs, and basic information about versions and whatnot. So that's the whole app. Let's play with that temperature. That was back over here. It's been on my wrist for a little while now because it's an actual contact thermometer. It's good to wear it for a few minutes, 15 minutes maybe, I would say, to stabilize. Again, it's not infrared, like they use at the airports and stuff, that in the restaurants these days, that you just get close to your skin and it'll read it. This one, you actually have to have it on here. There's the body temperature, 98.2. My wrist actual temperature is 93.7. It's computing that one. It's really reading that one, and that's the data that you get. But unfortunately, we don't get much more than the transfer of that. Oh, it's gone already. Okay, it transferred it over here, 98.4. All right, it's updated, lowest and highest, and that's it for today. Let's let it do one more and see if it instantaneously changes here. Since it's relatively quick, it doesn't take too terribly long to do the reading. And come on, you should be finished by now. There we go, 98.0. Do I need to refresh? And 93.0. All right, it didn't seem to transfer it, but that's what it's saying. There it is, 98.0. And no change in the chart, and my measurement record is empty. So it's a one-time shot, basically. You can see your last recorded temperature in here, but you're not getting a continuous chart like heart rate. Which is sad, because it should be doing continuous temperature measurement. That's what we have checked off in the app to do, but it's not reporting to the app. I'd say there's a lot of work to be done in the app. I think the watch is working fine and has great potential for a lot of other things it could be doing as a sensor node with the different components that are in here, but they just need to update the app to make it work. So, where do you get this thing? AliExpress, of course. It's a FINOW product. It's their new K21 basic fitness and health watch with temperature in it. Comes in black and gold and silver, lots of nice combinations. And check the show notes for the buying link. I'll click you right over here and you can pick this puppy up. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again soon.